This is Dragons Live, presented by Form Communications. In the first round of the NCAA tournament, MSUM faced a scrappy Pittsburgh State squad who pressured the high-powered Dragon offense.
Steal there by Devon Branch.
The Dragons led for all of 46 seconds in the game and used an 11-2 run to create an 8-point gap at halftime.
Long three by Sangolo. 3 for 3 from distance for the junior.
The Gorillas shrunk the lead to 2 early in the second half, but the Dragons responded with 9 straight and took the game 80-68. Junior forward Isaac Sievely paced MSUM with 23 points, and sophomore Aaron Lean contributed 17.
The Minnesota State University Moorhead Dragons are moving on to the semifinals.
MSUM then matched up with Central Missouri in the second round. The Dragons trailed 20-15 in the first half, but responded just as they have all season long, ending the half on a 20-7 run to take a 35-22 lead into the break. The Mules cut the lead to 9 on several occasions in the second, but MSUM slammed the door by sinking 10 of 12 free throws down the stretch, winning 71-60. Senior guard Prescott Williams had 18 points, and senior forward Herb Bingham had 16 to lead the Dragons. MSUM's Sweet 16 matchup was a rematch of their first game of the season with Northwest Missouri State. It was a grinded-out game as both teams struggled with shooting thanks to good D. The Dragons took a 2-point lead to the half after Jordan Reaver's layup beat the buzzer.
Floater, good for Reaver with 1 second to go, and that's going to be the half.
In the opening minutes of the second half, Central Region Tournament MVP Isaac Sievely sparked a Dragon run, blocking 2 Bearcat shots and throwing down a thunderous 2-handed slam. Northwest Missouri State went on a 7-0 run, making MSUM's 6-point lead disappear. But the Dragons responded with an 8-0 run of their own to lead 35-27. The Dragons led by 4 when Sievely hit his first 3-pointer of the season, making the score 42-35.
Sievely for 3. Big 3 by the big man for Moorhead.
Earlier, I had a chance to shoot a 3, and I just wasn't even looking for it. Didn't realize I was open like that. So then I was like, okay, I gotta be ready for this. And then the next time, I just knew.
Reaver, the top free throw shooter in the country, sank 5 of 6 in the final minute to clinch victory for the Dragons and MSUM's first Elite 8 appearance in school history.
Snyder will inbound. A baseball pass to midcourt. Crooker with it. 2 seconds left to go. His 3 won't go. That's going to do it. This magical ride will continue. The Dragons are marching on to Evansville, Indiana. Sweet has become elite. The Dragons are champions of the Central Region.
Reaver had 13 points and 4 assists in the game, while Sievely had 11 points and 4 rebounds. Prescott Williams and Aaron Lean joined Sievely on the NCAA Central Region All-Tournament team. Now, the Dragons march on to the Elite 8 in Evansville, Indiana, 3 wins away from a national championship dream. But first, they'll need to battle through Bellarmine University, the 2011 national champions, and one of only 2 teams ranked higher than the Dragons.
Hello everyone and welcome to Dragons Live. We are live in the Ford Center in Evansville, Indiana for the NCAA Division II Elite 8 as your Minnesota State University Moorhead Dragons are about to take on the Bellarmine Knights. The Dragons were Indiana-bound on Monday, a nearly 1,000-mile trek. The Dragon faithful on the fan bus had an arduous 14-hour ride with snow at points to be here in the Ford Center for the Elite 8. Welcome to the Ford Center. With seating for 10,000, this $127 million facility opened in 2011 and is host to the Evansville Purple Aces and the Evansville Icemen hockey team. The Ford Center, the city of Evansville, Indiana, and the NCAA have all been wonderful hosts, and we thank them for allowing us inside the Corner Club for tonight's Dragons Live edition. from the Elite Eight. Hello and welcome to the Corner Club. First of all, we got to thank all of you watching live at home on WDAY's Extra, on MSUMDragons.com, and on the Dragons mobile app, and especially those of you who have gathered in the Moorhead Buffalo Wild Wings at the viewing party. We're really glad to have you with us. There are a lot of teams here in the Elite Eight that came from a variety of different locations. We've got the Dragons, obviously, from Moorhead, Minnesota. We've got the Bellarmine Knights, just 2 hours away, brought what we heard was 10 or 11 fan buses. Tarleton, down from Texas, Azusa Pacific from California, Southern New Hampshire, Mount Olive, which is from North Carolina, Indiana University of Pennsylvania, as well as Florida Southern. Now, before we get into Dragon basketball, let's recap some of the other sports participating right now in the spring seasons. Softball is off to a good start in their spring season. They'll open NSIC play with 3 doubleheaders on the road this week, starting tomorrow at Northern State. They went 8-2 on their Florida trip, their best record on the spring break trip since 2006. They had a nice 5-game win streak to finish the tournament with wins over teams from all over the country. Heading right into Dragons tennis. They return to the Midwest this week for a pair of conference matches. They've taken on more Division I opponents this year than any other year before, and so don't let that overall record fool you. They've faced teams like UND, USD, and Montana State are just a few, testing the Dragons early this season. The Dragons are 5-2 in conference play and will face Bemidji State and Minnesota Crookston on Saturday in Grand Forks, North Dakota. Outdoor track and field has not quite begun their season. They will start on Saturday at the Washington Invitational in St. Louis, Missouri. And we'd also like to recap some of our All-Americans from this year. We had 2 in track and field, Molly Montoni and Chelsea Clemenson, both All-Americans in track and field, as well as Blake Bosch at 133 pounds. Did a very good job in earning an All-American status for Dragons wrestling. And of course, men's basketball, and Jordan Reaver, who was named to multiple All-American teams, Daktronics, NABC, all over the place. We congratulate all of our Dragons on their All-American accomplishments. But now we're here live in the Ford Center for the Elite Eight in Dragons basketball. Let's hear what head coach Chad Walthall had to say earlier about this team and their first trip to the Elite Eight.
You're going to be playing in the Elite Eight for the first time in your program's history. Talk a little bit about what it means for your program to be here in the Ford Center and at this event.
It's great. I mean, it's a wonderful opportunity. Our guys deserve it. They've worked hard for it. We certainly are not going to be intimidated by the moment. We're going to try to win tomorrow night, just not play. You know, I'm glad that our university and the city of Moorhead's proud of us. It's been great supporters. So we're going to enjoy the moment. It means a lot, but you know, we're here. It's a business trip, and we're going to treat it as such.
And talk about the first couple of days. Got here on Monday, spent the night, had a little activities here today. Just talk about the first couple of days leading up to your first shoot around today in Ford Center.
Well, I mean, it's a great shooting gym. I think it's a wonderful arena. You know, I think the players right now are just antsy to get going. I mean, it's a long wait. And it's been a fun couple days. The banquet was great. We had a good lunch today. We got to walk through some stuff. You know, the guys will be looking forward to shoot it here tonight. But you know, it's a long wait. So we look forward to getting tomorrow started.
And tell us a little bit about your trip to the VA today and what that was like for your guys.
VA was great. Our guys did a great job. The one thing about our guys is they're very, very high class, high character guys that care about people. They care about one another. And I thought that they did a wonderful job, you know, supporting and speaking with our veterans and asking them questions about, you know, what was their experience, what's important to them. And I think the veterans really enjoyed speaking with them. And there was a lot of good laughs. And I was proud to, you know, Dragons out there everywhere would be really proud.
And you just got out of the press conferences with all the head coaches of the Elite Eight teams, hearing kind of all of them talk, and I know you know a few of them. I mean, what makes you guys stand out amongst this group? Because everyone says the balance is the same. Everyone has so much in common. What makes your group stand out?
Yeah, well, you know, I think you don't know if any. It's hard. It's a hard question. I mean, I don't know if you can pinpoint that until the team that cuts down the nets on Saturday. I can only tell you that the strength of our team has been truly that team. And if they're going to reward the team that has been together and has worked extremely hard for it, then we'll get rewarded for it on Saturday. But you just never know. You got to have some breaks. You got to shoot the ball well, and you can't change your identity. You got to be who you are. And our guys understand what our strengths are. We're going to stay away from our weaknesses. We're going to try to soar with our strengths, and let's just go play and see what happens. If we come to play and handle it with poise, we'll be just fine.
So now I'm joined here live by the voice of the Dragons, Steve DeStacio, making the trip here down to Indiana. Welcome and thanks for being here.
My privilege.
Oh, it's great to be here, isn't it? There's a lot of excitement going on, and there are a lot of teams that are equally as excited as ourselves. So let's go to the bracket right away and see what all the teams are doing down here in Indiana. So far, we've seen the Mount Olive Tarleton game this morning in the Azusa Pacific, Indiana, of Pennsylvania, Indiana, Pennsylvania. Trying to learn all these new regions.
Tarleton is one of the more talented teams. Maybe the Bellarmine people that we were talking to in the hotel, or I was talking to in the hotel, thought Tarleton was probably the best team on that side of the bracket. They might have had it easier where they think the Dragons and Bellarmine are in kind of a little group of death here with the number one team, Southern Florida, that you're going to get to in just a moment. But Tarleton, very impressive this afternoon. They're going to play Indiana, Pennsylvania tomorrow.
An extremely athletic team. We saw some alley-oops today that dropped my jaw to the ground. I mean, they were looking down at the rim. Very, very athletic team Tarleton is.
They run and gun. They get up and down. It's a matter of whether they can get stops. We know they can fill the hole.
Mm-hmm. And then Azusa Pacific, it's their first year to be able to compete in the NCAA Division II championships and making a wonderful run all the way down to the Elite Eight, but falling today to Indiana of Pennsylvania.
If you look at it, the Dragons, this is their first time in the Nationals, if you will. So the regionals, yes, it's still the NCAA, but 3 years ago the Dragons didn't make it this far. So now we're going to find out in about, 2 hours from now, we're going to know whether the Dragons are going to suffer the same fate as Azusa Pacific, or, you know what, this is the Dragons' year.
Well, it could be the Dragons' year, but they have to go through a very tough Bellarmine Knights team. I heard you talking about some of the similarities between the two groups this year.
It's amazing. The Dragons and Bellarmine both undefeated until December the 13th. The Dragons lost in Duluth 60-58. Bellarmine lost to the team that the winner of this game between Bellarmine and the Dragons get tomorrow night. It was a non-conference game against Southern Florida College. Then both teams lost once after the new year, the Dragons to Augustana, Bellarmine to Indianapolis, and then both teams lost in the conference championship game. So while the Dragons got their hearts broken in Sioux Falls by Augustana College, they got the last laugh down at the Pentagon last Tuesday. So both teams coming into tonight on a 3-game winning streak.
It sounds like they both had the exact same chip on their shoulder of not winning the conference tournament, coming into the regional, performing at their best to get here to Evansville in the Elite Eight.
Sounds like you want another stat. So
I kind of want to do, yeah.
So the Dragons' second team All-America, Jordan Reaver, 1,371 career points. First team All-America, Jake Thielen for Bellarmine, a senior, 1,370 points. Their offenses are 1.5 points apart. Their defenses are between you and me. It's a coin flip tonight. This should be so much fun.
I can't wait for this game. A lot of the matchups that we've been talking about, especially have been inside. Bellarmine has a fantastic inside presence, but Isaac Sievely lately has been phenomenal. He's been great all year, but really showed some toughness against University of Central Missouri, a very also tough inside team. But it was him and Herb Bingham and Matt Nelson that really brought it inside to give the Dragons the edge in those games.
And that's where I was told by the coaching staff behind the scenes. Walthall won't admit it, but
no spoilers.
Talking to Justin Wick, talking to Jordan Peterson, Isaac Sievely has to play well tonight. Herb Bingham off the bench has to play well tonight. Matt Nelson just flat out plays well every night, even though he doesn't get the minutes as a Bingham or a Sievely. But there's another guy who really probably needs to play better than he has the last 3 games, and that's the captain, Jordan Reaver.
We've been looking for Jordan to kind of step off that offense. I mean, he's still been distributing the ball very well. We've seen him make a couple costly turnovers down the stretch, which is uncharacteristic of a senior point guard as is a la Jordan Reaver. But what do you think the Dragons have to do tonight to start getting their star involved offensively, or does it even matter?
I don't know if it matters. That's the fun part about the Elite Eight. We knew a little bit about Northwest Missouri State because the Dragons played them back in November. Central Missouri, the Dragons saw them play the night before. Pittsburgh State, then the Dragons had the opportunity to watch them on film. You just don't know. You just know that they're big, they're long, they're talented, and they won the national championship 4 years ago.
And hopefully the Dragons will be on their way to potentially competing for their first national championship in school history. Steve, thank you for joining us on this edition of Dragons Live.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. When we come back, we're going to invite MSUM President Dr. Ann Blackhurst in for a little one-on-one conversation. That's coming up from the Ford Center in Evansville, Indiana, and the Elite Eight right after this.
Are you someone who thinks car buying is a hassle? 87% of our customers tell us that the worst part about buying a car is the negotiation process. So we thought, let's get rid of it. Let's post our best price 24 hours a day for everyone to see, and let's make the car buying experience more enjoyable. We even took our salespeople off a commission pay plan. We pay them on your satisfaction. And guess what happened? Happier customers. We guarantee it. Stop on down today and check it out at Valley Pre-Owned.
The Travel Lodge and Suites of Fargo Moorhead invites you to experience their award-winning hospitality. Whether you choose a jacuzzi suite, king suite, or standard room, you're sure to experience the comforts of home. Relax by the cozy fireplace, take a dip in the pool, and wake up to a free breakfast including Belgian waffles. For reservations, call toll-free 1-866-263-BEAR. Again, that's 1-866-263-BEAR. The award-winning Travel Lodge and Suites of Moorhead. Also check out their website, www.travellodge-moorhead.com.
Another day. And just like every day, it never seems to slow down. But you have a plan. Grab a cup, grab the paper, and grab a little time. Just for you. It's worth it. Don't get the paper? Just grab the phone. Call now and save up to 60% off the newsstand price. Journalists, bringing the story home every day.
Dragons Live from Evansville, Indiana is brought to you by Travel Lodge, Valley Imports, Gate City Bank, Forum Communications, and State Farm Agent David Eggers.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dragons Live. Welcome back, I should say. We are live in Evansville, Indiana at the Ford Center for the NCAA Division II Elite Eight basketball tournament. We are in the Corner Club in the Ford Center, and I'm joined now here by MSUM President Dr. Ann Blackhurst. President Blackhurst, thank you so much for being here and being a supporter of Dragon basketball all season long.
It's my pleasure, John. I can't think of anywhere I'd rather be than right here.
Isn't it exciting to be here and watching students and student athletes be so successful? And I say students and student athletes because there's still a lot of students, a couple of students on our staff that are writing the stories and doing the social media behind the scenes. But how great is it to see the Dragons reach this level of competition?
You know, it's actually hard for me to put into words how proud I feel of our students. I feel so proud of their accomplishments on the basketball court. I feel proud of the way they've conducted themselves all season. I feel proud of how polite and respectful they are, their grit, their humility, their heart. It's a great day to be a Dragon.
Other than exemplifying those values you just mentioned, what does the success of a team like this and the exposure that a team like this gets bring to MSUM?
Well, the truth is, I think people want to be a part of a winning team, and so there is just this tremendous outpouring of community support. Our students are fired up, the campus community is excited, our alumni are excited, and the visibility this brings to MSUM, not just in our own region, but now that we're on a national stage at that level as well, is honestly priceless. And
there's been a lot of love coming from the Fargo-Moorhead area. The Bison have shown us a few shout-outs this week, as well as I've seen the Moorhead High School Orchestra threw us a couple tweets, the Moorhead Business Association, but we've just seen this outpouring of support for this men's basketball team. But we've also had a record year in fundraising. We've had another wonderful Case Professor of the Year in Kaya, and now the Elite Eight for men's basketball near the end of this academic year. Mm-hmm. How can you say anything but what a year?
Well, I think that's to myself multiple times a day. What a year. And it's so gratifying to see us have the success that I believe we deserve and to receive the attention and the support that I think MSUM deserves. It is awesome.
It is awesome, but I also want to get you on record. What's your prediction for tonight's game?
A Dragon victory, of course.
By a lot?
I'd be happy with a 1-point margin, honestly.
Just get the W.
Just get the W, that's right.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, President Ann Blackhurst, for joining us. We really appreciate you being here and all your support all season long.
Great. Glad to do it.
We're going to be right back with Dragons Live from the Corner Club here in Evansville, Indiana. And we have a very special guest coming in for the last block. We've got Roberta Page, NCAA Director of Championships and Alliances, coming up right after this.
Travel Lodge and Suites of Fargo Moorhead invites you to experience their award-winning hospitality. Whether you choose a jacuzzi suite, king suite, or standard room, you're sure to experience the comforts of home. Relax by the cozy fireplace, take a dip in the pool, and wake up to a free breakfast including Belgian waffles. For reservations, call toll-free 1-866-263-BEAR. Again, that's 1-866-263-BEAR. The award-winning Travel Lodge and Suites of Moorhead. Also check out their website, www.travellodge-moorhead.com.
Around here, there's more than one way to live. And at Gate City Bank, there's more than one way to bank. We create banking to fit you. So whatever your way of life, we make it better. Gate City Bank, for a better way of life.
Valley Imports has something for everyone. It's that easy.
Dragons Live from Evansville, Indiana is brought to you by Travel Lodge, Valley Imports, Gate City Bank, Forum Communications, and State Farm Agent David Eggers.
All right, we're here live in Evansville, Indiana, in the Ford Center with the NCAA Elite Eight. And who better to talk about the NCAA Elite Eight than you, Rhonda Page, joining us here. You are the NCAA Director of Championships and Alliances. First of all, thank you for joining us.
Oh, anytime, anytime.
Give us a little insight about what you do, and especially what you do around a tournament like this.
Well, you know, I always try to tell people I think I have the best job across the country because I get to run national championships for athletes in Division II. And so I don't know if there's a better job out there. I was an athletic director for a number of years, but to think I get to work in the one area that every student athlete aspires to go to, and that's a national championship, I don't know that there's a better job at the national office.
And tell our fans watching at home, because some people might not understand how difficult it actually is to get to an Elite Eight level of competition.
Well, the Elite Eight is very difficult, especially in a conference like the Northern Sun that you all are competing in right now, because basketball is one of our highest sponsored sports that we have. And, you know, these kids are playing against each other in the conference, sometimes 2, sometimes 3 times. They go to the postseason. They sometimes match up again with the same school that they've already played. And so they come here and you're trying to beat a team maybe for the 4th, sometimes the 5th time. So it's very difficult. And so I admire the kids, the coaches, with the hard work that they do. It is very difficult. It's a very big bracket. It's one of the largest brackets that we have with 64 teams across the country. So to think that it's easy to get here is an understatement. And so it's quite an undertaking to make it here. And these student athletes should be proud that they're here.
And I know that it's such a good group. I know that we're bringing in, and there are a lot of wonderful student athletes across all of Division II. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what being Division II means to you?
You know, I'm a little biased because I was a Division II student athlete, and then I worked on a Division II campus for a number of years. What I like about Division II and what I think we bring is we bring more than just the athlete. I think we bring a lot of the student, you know, whether it's through what we do with our community engagement, with the Make-A-Wish, with the team impact, with our our students getting out within the community. I think we bring more than what you're going to see tonight on the court. And hopefully these folks come out of here with, you know, I've given back more than just my athletic ability. I've given back to some, whether it's to Evansville or whether it's your community or whether it's to the NCAA as a whole. We're a well-rounded division, and it makes me very proud. I'm so happy to be here. And your conference, number one, they do a great job. I know the conference office supports every one of your schools to the nth degree, and it's a good thing to be at, and I wish them the best of luck tonight.
Well, thank you, and I wish you the best of luck tonight. You've done a fantastic job, NCAA in Evansville, and the Ford Center has been a great host thus far, and I can't imagine it's going to get any worse. So we're just so excited to have you a part of this and having you here on our show. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Night.
Thank you. We have a little bit of a treat for all of you coming up right now. We have the top 10 posts from social media, courtesy of Dragons Live. So let's get into the top 10 posts.
Let's get into the Dragons Live top 10 posts of the month. At number 10, Jordan Cressa, men's basketball student manager, hits this deep trick shot in the high school gym at the day off shoot-around for the Dragons here at the Elite 8. At number 9, I guess we're going to poke a little fun at me here with a couple of posts. First, I had to do a little confetti angel after the men's basketball team won their first round playoff game against Wayne State. And a little treat from our videographer, Caleb Stumple, made this Space Webby video. It's on the Dragon Athletics TV YouTube channel. Check it out. It's pretty funny. At number 8, we've got a post by Matt Nelson with his own little interpretation of Tanner Kretschmann's celebratory, whatever you want to call it, saying it was the same reaction he gets after getting an email when class is canceled. That one admittedly made me laugh pretty hard. At number 7, our president, Dr. Ann Blackhurst, a surprised expression as she gets to hold the regional championship trophy and realizes it's a lot heavier than it looks. At number 6, the Dragon men had a nice day off down in Sioux Falls during the regional tournament and decided to go out for a little fun and a movie. Here we have Herb Bingham and Tanner Kretschmann getting after a little Guitar Hero. Some skills just translate easily for Jordan Reaver as he plays a little mini basketball free throw shoot. And we end with a little singing from our Dragon men minus Isaac Sievely in the hallway having a little fun ending their day off.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2.
At number 5, really proud of how our Dragons app turned out. If you don't have it, you've got to download it now. The Dragons app has everything you need to know. We renovated it completely for Dragons March On, so you have every photo, every social media account, every live stream link, everything at your fingertips. Download the Dragons app from your app store today. At number 4, big shout out to the Forum and Inforum.com for their additional coverage of Dragon Athletics as they march on to the NCAA National Tournament. They had this wonderful infographic of the men's basketball team in an earlier issue, and then the insert that launched this morning was fantastic. A lot of great photos, a lot of great stories, really well put together, and thank you to all of our sponsors who help support and make that happen. At number 3, our AD Doug Peters pointed out a wonderful statistic that we had 23 student athletes participate in the NCAA national tournaments this year. We had 4 All-Americans this year. In track and field, here's a nice picture of Molly Montoni and Chelsea Clementson celebrating their All-American honors. And that's exactly what a Dragon Wrestling All-American looks like in Blake Bosch. And finally, in men's basketball, Jordan Reaver gets the All-American status. Getting towards the end at number 2, the Dragons celebrating after winning their regional championship, dancing in the locker room, but Gijal Sangolo gets a little overexcited and ends up kicking over the regional championship trophy. It would survive and move on to travel all over campus and celebrating all the other champions that helped make that possible. And at number 1, we got to thank all of you. The community support that we've had this month has been amazing and incredible. So many words to describe how thankful we are for your support. Here are just a few of our favorite posts of the past month. You can check out all of these posts and more at msumdragons.com/DragonsMarchOn and click on the social media button. We've created a whole board full of posts from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and more. Go there to check out all the social media. And again, thank you for your support for all of our student athletes in the national championships.
All right, we are still here live in Evansville at the Ford Center. We will be right back with the end of Dragons Live right after this.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm on it. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're covered, Kevin.
Thanks, Melinda.
Wait, I have blah blah insurance, so person, come help.
Hey, Grandma. 6 callers ahead of us, Jimmy.
You're not helping.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. They're to help you anytime, anywhere, anyway. That's getting to a better state.
David Eggers in Moorhead is there to help you anytime, anywhere, anyway.
Blah, blah, blah.
Dragons Live from Evansville, Indiana is brought to you by Travel Lodge, Valley Imports, Gate City Bank, Forum Communications, and State Farm agent David Eggers.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Dragons Live. Right now, Steve DeStatio is live on the Dragons app as well as on MSUMDragons.com if you want to listen to live game coverage of the Dragons versus Bellarmine in the NCAA Elite Eight. Also, on MSUMDragons.com, click on the top left thing that says Dragons March On Game Central, or Dragons March On Central, or go to MSUMDragons.com/Dragons March On. For all live links, we've got live video from the NCAA there as well. And tip-off is at 8:30 tonight. In just a few minutes, we're going to see if the Dragons can become one of the next and last members of the NCAA Division II Final Four. Thank you for joining us here on Dragons Live, live from Evansville. It's crazy to be here. We've heard that no one's ever done this before, so we're very glad to have you join us here for Dragons Live. And we have a little treat for you as a send-off. We want to say thank you to everyone watching at Buffalo Wild Wings tonight for our viewing party. Thank you so much. And from Evansville, I'm John Webby, Web King for Dragons Live. Thanks for joining us, and go Dragons.